Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Here's the final act of the afternoon. Absolutely brilliant stuff with a fantastic band. Will you welcome the kind of modern take on blues that is Mark Harrison and his band.
It's a shame we're going to be crap now. So we're not going to talk about what's been happening in the last 18 months or so, except to say that during that period of time we came and played here, and it was great to be able to come out and do that, and it's all credit to Dave for being straight out the traps and getting things sorted when others didn't. So it's good to be here, and what we're going to do is forget about all of what's been going on and try and have a bit of fun. And we've often been described by reviewers as uplifting, so we're going to be uplifting as long as you don't listen to anything I say. So this first song is called Tribulation Time, and it is a tribulation time, obviously, with lots of people being very wound up about more or less everything. And but I think it always is a tribulation time of one sort or another, isn't it? Well, I feel like crying, I feel like breaking down, but I'm not gonna do that, gonna keep on moving around. I don't know where I'm going, and I don't like where I've been, and I don't wanna think about the shape I'm in. I'm just saying, don't pay no mind. I'm just saying, don't pay no mind. It's tribulation time. Shouting every time I look around. I want to scream and tear that whole house down. Well, I've been a witness, but I don't know what I've seen, and I don't know if my reputation's clean. I'm just saying, don't pay no mind. I'm just saying, don't pay no mind. It's tribulation time. Thank you very much. Oh, if we we do them all that fast, we'll be done in about 15 minutes. I'd like to introduce you to the two people who are here on stage with me. On double bass, Charles Benfield. He'll be playing lots of double bass. And on drums and percussion, Ben Welburn. This next song is called Go Nice, which was the motto of the great Reverend Gary Davis, the virtuoso, mostly ragtime and gospel guitar player and great original blues artist. And he was one of the many blues artists who were rediscovered in the 1960s. His sort of signature tune was Candyman, which is a tune you know, but it was very much associated with him. And that gets mentioned in the song. And Reverend Gary said that although he'd had a very, very difficult life of extreme poverty and great misery, he always tried to go nice, which I think means to be a decent human being. And a little known fact is that Gary Davis was, when he was rediscovered, he was hired to give guitar lessons to aspiring young white folk singers in New York City. And one of his pupils was Bob Dylan. And I suppose if you go through Bob's entire catalogue, you'll find a ton of evidence of those guitar lessons in his playing. Everything just fine, what's to say? Go nice if you can. Go nice like a candy man. Gentle breeze floating through the fields. Whole lot of heartbreak. So many bad deals going down. Howling wind tearing down the road. Whole lot of good luck when the dice are thrown in County Town. Go nice if you can. Go nice like a candy man. Understood, you can be free. Go nice if you can. Go nice like a candy man. Go nice if you can. Go nice like a candy man. Thank you very much. These songs are all fairly short, so if there's one you don't like, there'll be another one along soon enough. The next one is called Doing Time. It's a prison song. I haven't been to prison myself, so I have done a speed awareness course. And that was fucking brutal. All those supercilious ex-cops telling you stuff like you're 3 years old. Still haven't recovered. Ben and Charles will start this one. In the heat, bring the hammer down on the beat. Well, I can't remember quite what I did wrong, but it must have been bad. I've been in this place so long. Doing time, I'm doing time. Break out of mighty and I'm doing time. Well, I jump when the captain tells me don't wanna get woke dead and buried. Well, I don't think I got much chance of parole, and there's no point trying to break out of this hole. Doing time, I'm doing time. I break out of mighty and I'm doing time. Behavior, but in here that ain't gonna save ya. Well, I sure am paying for my big mistake. One bad choice, that's all it can take. Doing time, I'm doing time. Great God Almighty, I'm doing time. Doing time, I'm doing time. God Almighty, I'm doing time. Doing time, I'm doing time. God Almighty, and I'm doing time. Okay, I'm going to play a different guitar now. We'll do with more of this, please, in here. this is a 12-string guitar. Most people don't play these, and if they do, they don't finger pick them. Because there are 12 strings on it. This song's called Restless Mind. What I'm demonstrating at this point is stagecraft. You can do modules in this. It seems to me that we sort of live in an age of conformity in which a lot of people appear to me to trot out opinions they got from somewhere else, and independent thinking is often much frowned on, and that even if you venture a small amount of slight doubt about something, then people will pile on you, as they say, on social media, which I don't do a very great deal of, and I certainly wouldn't express an opinion on it, because if you do that, someone that you thought you liked will come on and tell you what a twat you are. And you will then instantly decide that they too are a twat. And then your number of friends has gone down by 1, which is pretty much not the idea of social media, I thought. But my experience of it is that I know all sorts of people who I now know to be twats. Now when I had my fortune told, that woman made my blood run cold. She said, you're gonna mess up, that's quite clear. Turn the silk purse into a real pig's ear. Oh, that's your fate, 'cause that's your Jones. You can't help it, it's in your bones. You're gonna be in a bind, and trouble's what you'll find with a restless mind. Now when I saw what those people did, oh, I just ran away and hid. I said, that ain't gonna happen to me, 'cause I'm on the road to liberty. But the road was closed, there was a riot going on. Curfew was coming, better be gone. You're gonna be in a bind, and trouble's what you'll find with a restless mind. In a bind, and trouble's what you're gonna find with a restless mind. Now when I heard what the big shot said, I couldn't get it through my head. Thought their words all sounded fine, but they should have put them where the sun don't shine. Now why you folks are not having long? Can't you see that it's all wrong? Gonna be in a bind, and trouble's what you're gonna find with a restless mind. And trouble's what you're gonna find with a restless mind. Thank you very much. The next song is called Everybody Knows. And it's a bunch of things that everybody knows. But it seems that lots of people can't accept. Chance you're on, you ride your luck. Your luck runs out sometimes, everybody knows. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. You can't fight it. You send your heart to the wrong address. Make a fool of yourself, everybody knows. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. You can't fight it. It's not fair. It's not right. Makes you curse. Makes you cry. Ain't no law you can bring gonna change anything. What you want any day, someone gets in the way. Bang your fist, stamp your foot, that won't do. Yeah, and I got well, you're happy now, feeling good. Tomorrow get the blues, everybody knows. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. You can't fight it. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. Everybody knows. That's the way it goes. You can't fight it. You can't fight it. I think that one needs muting. Thank you very much. You could just pass the time watching when I'm going to knock that water over, which is at any moment. Now, we come to the sing-along song, which, after many years of trying to have a sing-along song and being too inhibited to try it on an audience, because what happens if you teach an audience a sing-along song and nobody sings along with it? It's a level of humiliation that I personally can't face. And I have a bucket list of humiliations. That one is around number 7. but I'm working my way fast through the others, I'm afraid. So we're not going to learn how to sing this one, of course, but you might care to join in. And we debuted it very successfully here last autumn when we did this gig in this thing we're no longer going to talk about called Lockdown. I don't mind never hearing that word again. Although it did make me realise that I had in fact been pioneering social distancing long before any of this was mentioned. And we came here and did it, but the problem was, although we thought it had gone down well and people were singing, they were all in masks. So in fact, people were muttering into their masks as far as we knew. And even though Dave and I went through the CCTV afterwards, we couldn't establish who had and who hadn't sung. No such problems today. Dave has got that completely geared up. The song's called I'm Damned, and the chorus is I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. And it would be nice if you joined in. And we can pretend it's a folk club. Because I don't know if you folk clubs, and people just do as they're told there. It doesn't matter if it's absolute gibberish. Well, I built that shack, but the shack fell down. Wound up sleeping on the ground. Oh, now, what ya gonna do? I'm no stranger to futility. We're old friends, that thing with me. Oh, now, what ya gonna do? Give that coin a spin. No way I can win. 'Cause I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. That's it. Now, these things that come to pass, sometimes I could kick my own ass. Oh, now, what ya gonna do? Wanna see your trouble in a patched up boat, playing like hell just to keep afloat. Oh, now, what ya gonna do? Give that coin a spin. No way I gonna win. 'Cause I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. And I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Now, do I stick or do I twist? Do I gamble or resist? Oh, now, what ya gonna do? I'm gonna put my heart in an overcoat, hands in pockets, here I go. Oh, now, what ya gonna do? Give that coin a spin. No way I don't win. Well, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Well, I'm damned if I do, and I'm damned if I don't. Damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Thank you very much. That's it with the sing-alongs, by the way. Yes, I mean, someone like me, you'd expect me to have tons of them, wouldn't you? This song's called Same Roads, and it's about having a dull, repetitive, mundane life. Totally unlike mine, of course, which is absolutely packed with glamour. There's nothing wrong with having a dull, mundane, repetitive life, by the way. And I've always aspired to it, actually. And I tried it for very many years, but I wasn't very good at it. I was found wanting and sacked from dull and mundane life. And I told myself at the time that it's because, I'm a musician with a musician's sensibility, and that disqualifies me from being successful at ordinary life. And I tried this theory out with a few of my friends, and they said, no, it's because you're a twat. Not sure if my daughter shares that view. Walking down the same roads for so long. I've been driving down the same streets for so long. Going up and down, and I ain't been very far. It's a comfort zone and it's a prison yard. Trying to read the book, but I'm stuck on the first page. But the wrong way around the track. you very much. One of the distinctive blues harmonica, I guess, riffs, it's called the fox chase. If anyone plays blues harmonica, they probably know how to do that. And it was credited to Sonny Terry. There's nothing to do with that really, but this song's called Fox Chase. That's where I got the idea from. But it's like if you look at life as a fox chase, it's probably better not to be the fox. Although it's probably worth remembering the fox doesn't get away sometimes. So this song's a kind of, these are things that you might have thought that might have happened to you as you look back on your life, if indeed you can face doing that. Heard a lot of stories, how they run and flow, but I don't know, oh I don't know. Met a lot of people, how they come and go, but I don't know, oh I don't know. Reaching for the bottom of your heart, get back up and line up at the start. Take your place in the fox chase. I took a lot of punishment out on the street, but I'm not beat, oh I'm not beat. I took a lot of blows that knocked me off my feet, but I'm not beat, oh I'm not beat. Reaching for the bottom of your heart, get back up and line up at the start. Take your place in the fox chase. There's been a lot of trouble, it's been hard to bear, but I don't care, oh I don't care. There's been some consternation, there's been wear and tear, but I don't care, oh I don't care. Reaching for the bottom of your heart, get back up and line up at the start. Take your place in the fox chase. I heard a lot of hot air, how they gush and crow, but I don't know, oh I don't know. I seen a lot of sorrow, I heard tales of woe, but I don't know, oh I don't know. Reaching for the bottom of your heart, get back up and line up at the start. Take your place in the fox chase. Thank you. Listen down now, we'd have been out there right now in this, wouldn't we? song is Big Mary's House. Big Mary's House was a juke joint that existed in the Mississippi Delta in the 1920s and 30s, run by a woman called Big Mary, who it turns out wasn't in any way big, but acquired the nickname Big Mary somehow. And for those of you who don't know what a juke joint was or is, because there are still some, these were very basic bars in shacks that were thrown up on the corner of plantations or on the edge of small towns down in this area where blues music came from. And the booze that was available in them was made by the person that ran it. And in the case of Big Mary, this was essentially poison. But the people who drank it got pretty pissed before they realised that. People would go to these after a very gruesome week's work. For those people, of course, it really was a gruesome week's work. We're not talking about getting pinged by an app here. Or indeed having a bit of trouble with the IT department. Or perhaps questioning your Eon bill. Which actually, as far as I'm concerned, is the height of suffering. Nothing works, does it? Absolutely nothing works. No institution works at all. Don't know why. And don't get me started on smart motorways either. Where was I? Yes, Big Mary's House. So people went to these juke joints to let their hair down and have a good time, which they deserve to have on a weekend. And so they'd come to these and there'd be a blues person there playing something like that guitar, which was made at the time in 1934. And someone would have been playing that, and around them would have been mayhem as people danced in a way we might describe as vigorous. And sometimes they would shoot each other. We three have often hoped that people would shoot each other at our gigs. And we live in hope. I don't suppose it'll happen in Southgate. But you never know. So this song is about that place, and it's called Big Mary's House. This song is called Passing Through, or Passing Through, depending on where you come from, I guess. My mother always used to say, don't say bath, say bath, and all that kind of thing. A futile attempt to seem posh in Coventry. A place where poetry was illegal. Used to be profound suspicion of anyone who smiled. I still have that to this day. What's wrong with him? So this song's off the new album, which is called The Road to Liberty. It's a double album, and it's got 21 songs on it, many of which we are doing today. Obviously, we haven't had much chance to do them over the last 18 months, and this is one I have to sit down for. So this song is about being an observer, which I suppose I am to some degree, because that's what happens to you when you can't participate. One thing that does happen is that you, if you do what we do, you go all over the place, experiencing different parts of the world, or parts of the country anyway, and you form your own impressions of them, which are almost certainly utter rubbish, because you have no idea what these places are like. So if you go to a place and you have trouble parking, you go, oh, it's a crap place. Or on the other hand, if the journey is pleasant, you go, oh, it's fantastic there. And of course, people who live in these places have no idea what you're talking about. And it occurred to me that that's pretty much how life is, isn't it? One gets these impressions of other people's lives, and you hear bits of stories, and you hear somebody's side of the story, but of course you can never know, really, what the truth of it is from the outside. And I've lived my own life from the inside, and I still don't know what the truth of that is. On the street of 1,000 souls, there are so many stories told. It's all come and go. Oh, there's Mr. So-and-so, but I don't know who is who, 'cause I'm only passing through. On the street of the broken heart, oh, they bring out their dead in cars, victims of events, cruel women and faithless men. But I don't know which is true, 'cause I'm only passing through. In the town where the cold winds blow, see the work of a wrecking crew. Better days gone by, oh yeah, no, it's a sorry sight, but it's just a fleeting view, and I'm only passing through. the station of crossing lines. See the girl with the crying eyes. Message that she read, I wondered what it said. But then the whistle blew, and I was just passing through. Then the whistle blew, and I was just passing through. Thank you very much. That song was, in fact, played on Her Majesty's BBC Radio 2 the other week on Keris Matthews' show, which the three of us went on her show a while back as live guests. And we weren't given a tremendous amount of background information, you know, and we turned up at Broadcasting House. I was basically crapping myself for weeks about parking, which I always do. And Charles was, untypically for him, unflustered about this situation. And bugger me if son of a bitch didn't manage to park straight outside Broadcasting House. And we went in there and we didn't have, as I say, very much preparation, and it turned out that we had to perform and I had to talk, and it was all going out totally live. I didn't know this. I thought these things were recorded and then stitched together, but no. This was totally live, and there's no feeling quite like opening your mouth and thinking that a piece of utter drivel is about to come out, and realising that approximately 1 million people will be listening. Anyway, I think we acquitted ourselves reasonably well. Anyway, she picked that song, Passing Through, from the album, play on her show. And the next song is called Toolmaker's Blues. And there is a bit of a story attached to this one, which is that I did a solo show in Bury St Edmunds a while ago. And you see this thing where you form impressions just from going to places. My impression of Bury St Edmunds is that it consists entirely of people from a Channel 4 series that ends with From Hell. I'm sure that's not true. There's only time I've been scared of an audience, because they made some funny noises. It wasn't like there was a threat of violence, but there were some sounds. Barking was great. But thanks for asking. You see, nobody cares about this sort of thing apart from me, so I thank you for taking an interest in that. I say I did that gig solo, and I don't know whether these two knew something about that, because they weren't there, were they? You know, just when you need a bit of backup, nowhere to be fucking seen, these two. At the end of it, a young American bloke who was on the Air Force base came and spoke to me, and I had referred him, introducing one of the songs, to Detroit. Now, Detroit, as you know, is the motor industry centre of America, and I grew up in our motor city. And there was indeed an attempt at some point to call Coventry Britain's motor city, which was a sad attempt to give it some kind of charisma, I imagine. Obviously I didn't catch on, did it? It was inconceivable when I was growing up that there wouldn't be a car industry in Coventry. And this guy asked me if I knew what a toolmaker was or what a toolmaker did, and I said, well, I do, yeah, because I think we had some in the family. There was a row of toolmakers' factories on the highway just up from where I grew up, and it seemed like I went away one weekend, and when I came back they'd all turned into Sainsbury's. And this was how we knew that the car industry had gone in Coventry. That was a long time ago. I know there is still some there. But apparently it soldiered on in Detroit until 2008 when there was the crash. So he was telling me his father was a toolmaker and his father lost his job and he lost everything. Because America's perhaps quite a lot more brutal than this country. So he lost the house and everything. And at this point it turned out that he had, unknown to his family, bought a ramshackle cabin in some remote part of the state of Michigan. And so the family had to move there. And that's where this song ends, although it's not where the guy's story ends. I think the guy's story ended with his mother running off to Hawaii with a toy boy. But somehow I couldn't work that into my material. Maybe one day. Anyway, I mean, the point about this is that these things do happen. They've always happened. Whole industries can suddenly vanish, and you imagine that they won't. And everyone naturally imagines that their way of life will continue indefinitely, but these things can happen suddenly. And in this country, they happened relatively suddenly, with industries vanishing in over a remarkably few years. So it's worth bearing in mind that that could happen again. You don't think it will, but you could most certainly wake up to discover that all of a sudden there is no more management consultancy or life coaches or any of these other things that have sprung up in the last 20 or 30 years, enhancing all of our existences. I have to be careful what I say here, because I don't want someone to cancel me. But I mean, basically, if I say management consultancy, there's probably a 40% chance of them being in the audience. As that is the biggest growth industry in this country. Here's the song, Toolmakers Blues. Working in a factory, well, that's some kind of life. You can build up a structure, run some children and a wife, Motor City blues in the morning, well, that's alright for me. Till you hear the rumors about how it's gonna be. Well, we're all at sea, floating on a ship of fools. How can you toolmaker when nobody's buying tools? Well, they closed down the factory, put us all out of a job. No problem for the people who chose to kill us off. Motor City blues in the evening. What am I gonna do with all those skills that nobody wants to use? Because one man's pile of garbage is another man's trove of jewels. How can you be a tool maker when nobody's buying tools? When I had a bit of money, I bought a cabin in the hills. Now I moved the family up here, 'cause I can't pay the bills. Motor City blues comes to haunt me, 'cause we sit here marking time. 'Cause you can't rebuild that structure when you haven't got a dime. Well, it's all a deadly game. Somehow I broke the rules. How can you be a tool maker when nobody's buying tools? They're all at sea, floating on a ship of fools. How can you be a toolmaker when nobody's buying tools? Thank you. Okay, we've got a couple more to go, maybe 3. Now, if you were required to justify your life on some kind of judgment day to some kind of figure that is sitting judgment on you, what would you say? Most people would say, I think, well, I have basically been okay. I have done 1 or 2 things that might be regrettable. And I might have got a few things wrong, but basically I have been okay. And I think that that's what would be said by even the world's most horrible people, because that's what everybody thinks. Whether it's true is a whole other matter. The song is called All Rise, and it's in the tradition of blues songs that have the defendant appealing to the judge for leniency. Morning, Judge, hope you're feeling fine. I'm just standing here and it's decision time. Ain't done nothing you might call a crime, just some wrongs when I got out of line. No more to say, I rest my case. And hey there, Judge, I ain't done no harm. I'm not deserving of the county farm. Ain't killed no one, never have been armed, and I don't go around with no voodoo charm. No more to say, I rest my case. And come on, Judge, no need to be mean. Times were hard and I was pretty green. I plead guilty to some minor misdemeanors. I'm not the worst man that you've ever seen. No more to say, I rest my case. And all right. And all right. Thank you very much. Could I have a bit more of this one in here, please? Okay, this is the penultimate one, if that's okay. Time-wise, we're all right? Dave? A very quick story about this one. I had a woman friend who, one night when she was in her cups, told me that there was a phenomenon that she experienced, that she thought was common among women. And I'm merely passing this information on without any form of opinion, because I'm in no position to judge. She told me that if she was in a relationship that was going really well, for some reason into her head would pop the worst possible thing that she could say that would completely destroy, torpedo this thing that was otherwise going well. And yet, knowing this, she would find herself saying it. And she told me that this was a pretty common phenomenon. And if it is, then it does explain a few things, I must say, from the past. And I thought that doesn't sound like a terribly good idea. And a little bit later, she got engaged. And then I noticed on social media that she was no longer engaged. So I sent her a message. I said, "Was this your decision?" And she wrote back as follows: "No, I think I let the crazy out the bag too soon." And what I particularly like about that is the idea of too soon, as if there is an optimum moment for letting the crazy out the bag, presumably when the victim can't do anything about it. This song is called "Don't Let the Crazy Out the Bag Too Soon." It seems to me to be good advice to almost anyone. Don't let the crazy out the bag too soon. Don't let the crazy out the bag too soon. Don't let the crazy enter the room. Don't let the crazy out the bag too soon. Has the smell of doom. So don't let the crazy out the back too soon. That crazy makes you say those words you know will wreck your world. Makes you say things you don't mean, and that should not be heard. Out the back too soon. Thank you very much. Right, we're coming to our last one. If you've been here all afternoon, you'd have had some good music. So, whoops! Thank you to London Broomfield for their set early on, which was great. They've left their set list here, and I keep accidentally looking at it and thinking, when are we going to do My Old Man's a Dustman? I remember rehearsing that one. And the pianist, Graham Hine. Let's hear it for Dave Thomas, who runs all this. For all those who run this nice club, what a nice place to come, and it's good of them to let us in here straight away when it couldn't happen in the park. So for the guys running the club, fast up. Sound engineer's done a great job. Let's hear it for him. We have albums here, just the other side of that pillar. Please come buy an album if you like what we're doing. It's very important to us that people buy them so that we can keep making them, keep going. We've also got some t-shirts and bags even. And oh yes, I nearly forgot. I'd like to thank the two extraordinary musicians playing with me on double bass, Charles Benfield. On drums and percussion, Ben Welburn. I should change that to on double bass and parking. With an expression of superiority, Charles Benfield. Alright, this is the last tune, it's called Shake the House. Charles Benfield, double bass. Ben Welburn on drums.
Ladies and
Thank
gentlemen,
you.
Mark Harrison Band. Thank you so much, absolutely fantastic. Great observation, the wit, the banter, the musicianship, you don't get that very often. Thank you so much for coming along, and thank you to Mark Harrison and the band. We will hopefully, if the weather is good, we will hopefully see you next Sunday